Hey guys, how's it going? So we're now learning that Michigan red flag law, gun confiscation orders, that's what they really are being used on elementary age children, elementary schoolers, including a child as young as 6 years old. Not only is the child being red flagged, but we're also learning that they're confiscating guns from the entire home, meaning the whole family that lives with the child are getting their guns confiscated through these red flag laws. This is literally insane, and I'm going to go in depth on an article that was recently put out by the Detroit News by Beth LeBlanc going over all of this. And the headline literally says Michigan's red flag law used to confiscate firearms on campus from minors as young as 6 years old. Now, if you've been following this channel, you know I've been reporting on the Michigan red flag laws before they even passed 2 years ago. And then I also let you know that they did go into effect about a year ago in February of 2024. I would also note Michigan Representative Jim DeSena has put out a 3-bill package, House Bills number 4138, 4139, and 4140, to repeal these. And I did visit with him in the Michigan Capitol in Lansing yesterday, so stay tuned. You're going to see a really good video of me and the representative talking about his repeal and how terrible that these red flag laws are, so stay tuned. That video will be on the channel very soon. And also, if you notice there's no ad read, that's because you guys are my sponsors. So if you'd like to help support this channel and my trips to Lansing and all of the time I do spend doing all this, there's links down in the description where you can help keep things going. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. We cover tons of stuff on the national level, but also focused on Michigan. So this is insane. I'm going to say this before I even get started, but it shows you how draconian these laws are and that they do need repealed here very soon. Michigan's red flag law has been used in select cases over the past year against individuals on college campuses and within the K through 12 school system, including cases in which guns have been seized from homes because elementary aged children were deemed a threat to themselves or others, according to state records. A Northville Township 6-year-old appears to be the youngest individual subjected to an extreme risk protection order since the law went into effect February 13th, 2024, according to Michigan State Police records obtained by the Detroit News through a public records request. You're probably already thinking what I am. A 6-year-old. Did the 6-year-old actually own guns? Did they have possession of guns? Well, let's keep reading the article and see. The next youngest child was an 8-year-old who threatened school staff in the Upper Peninsula's Alger County state records show. Wow. If you know anything about Michigan, you know the UP is literally full of gun owners. It's generally, sans a couple big cities, very rural. It tends to be, besides a couple big cities, a very conservative, very pro-Second Amendment. And look, if this is happening in the UP of Michigan, you know we're in trouble, right? If you know, you know. And for all the Upers who watch my channel, chime into the comments. This is not good. And the issuance of an extreme risk protection order on Michigan State University's campus on July came 18 months after a shooting on the East Lansing campus took the lives of 3 students and wounded 5 others. The shooting served as a catalyst for lawmakers to change state gun regulations within weeks, led to the passage of Michigan red flag law. Yep, I was there. I was there at the Capitol when this was all going on. All these protesters, they filled up the whole Capitol calling for gun control, and they spoke loudly. Quite frankly, a lot louder than the pro-Second Amendment crowd did. I'm just calling a spade, guys. And they did get what they wanted. They got what they demanded. And I would note that Michigan State was already a gun-free zone, which, let's call that what it is. That's a criminal empowerment zone. And the evil person didn't follow the signs that said, no guns allowed, proving that the gun control did not work. This person had already broken firearms laws in the past, and many people wondered why they were even allowed to be among us and free, and why they weren't locked up, and this person had already been charged with gun crimes in the past. Yeah, this is the typical thing that happens here, but they come after law-abiding citizens, people just like you and just like me. But anybody, apparently, especially with children, can get their guns taken away very quickly now. The Red Flag Law, officially referred to as the Extreme Risk Protection Order Act, took effect February 13th, 2024, and allows police officers, some medical professionals, and family to petition a judge to confiscate the firearms of individuals believed to be a risk to themselves or others. I would also note that an ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, former roommate, all kinds of other people also have standing to red flag you. Oh, geez, imagine that. Do you think it'd be possible for there to be a scorned ex-wife or maybe a breakup gone bad? Now, this could have been somebody that you dated like 50 years ago. And they would still have standing. Yeah, it's crazy. During legislative hearings and the debate over the red flag law and an accompanying safe storage law, both the 2023 MSU shooting and the November 30th, 2021 Oxford High School shooting served as backdrops for the law's development. In the Oxford shooting, a 15-year-old gunman took an unsecured firearm registered to his father to the high school and killed 4 students and wounded 7 individuals. Oh, that's also a gun-free zone too, by the way. Michigan's red flag law, one lawmaker said, is unique from other states because it specifically addresses situations involving minors and allows officers to confiscate unsecured firearms from parents or guardians, even though the actual order is in the child's name. Yeah, keep that in mind that we also have so-called safe storage laws in Michigan now. We also have MDHHS sending out indoctrination information to the school systems to tell kids how their parents should be storing firearms within the home. We also have a tip hotline that's being funded in the state of Michigan where students can rat out their parents. Mixing all of these things together, we're in quite the web. Literally. That aspect particularly relates to juveniles, was something we were very intentional about and sets Michigan apart from other states, said State Senator Mallory McMorrow, a Royal Oak Democrat who helped sponsor the bill. This is a big gun grabber, by the way. I don't think mental health issues or violence issues judge by age. But it's also the part of the law that worries Second Amendment advocates, who have long voiced opposition to the law on several fronts, including the statute's effect on gun owners who are not subject of the actual order, such as the parents of a 6-year-old named in an extreme risk protection order. One of the issues with this law isn't just the rights of the respondent of these orders, but it's also the rights of the individuals they live with, said Tom Lambert, Legislative Director for Michigan Open Carry. Data obtained from the Michigan State Police indicate the law was used to secure 321 emergency risk protection orders to seize weapons in Michigan between February 13th, 2024 and February 6th, 2025. 303 of those remain active as of February 6th. So we're talking hundreds of these now have occurred. Of the 321 petitions in the first year, 212, or about 66%, reference past or current mental health issues as one of the reasons for the firearm confiscation, according to a Detroit News review of the data. And 96 petitions, about 30% of the total, 321, mentioned current or past threats of self-harm or suicide in the petition for an extreme risk protection order. State Court Administrative Office data indicates the law was used to secure an order against a juvenile in just 7 of those more than 300 cases. Michigan State Police records provide further detail on the juvenile cases, specifically those involving a 6-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 10-year-old. This is literally insane. I would say I can't believe this, but I would believe anything with these radical gun control laws that we now have in Michigan and many other places throughout the country too, I would know. Order used against juveniles. Northville Township Police were involved in initiating at least 2 of those juvenile petitions, said Deputy Chief Matthew McKenzie. In the case of the 6-year-old, a child experiencing a mental health crisis had disclosed to individuals that he had ready access to firearms, McKenzie said. After an extreme risk protection order was filed, Northville Township police officers found during a visit to the home that all firearms had been removed from the home a couple days prior, according to the deputy police chief. A similar situation unfolded with a 10-year-old, McKenzie said, where again police found no evidence of the child having a firearm upon a visit to the home. That order was later canceled. This is literally the police coming to your house saying, "We're here for your guns." When you're red flag, they take all the guns. They say take the guns first, then due process, which if you've ever read the Bill of Rights, that's no due process at all. In many cases, these are ex parte hearings where you don't even know that you're being charged with one. You can't even bring a lawyer in with exculpatory evidence to show that you're not guilty. This doesn't even need the beyond a reasonable doubt standard because these don't fall under criminal. They fall under civil law. Yeah, this is literally insane and shouldn't even be possible in a country named the United States of America, but let me continue to get through this article. State police records indicate the Northville Township 10-year-old made threats to shoot another student in school and indicated that he had access to weapons, which is unsecured and located in the basement of the minor's home. McKenzie noted both extreme risk protection orders were issued in the name of the child, meaning they barred the child specifically from possessing or controlling firearms. To the extent that the firearms are accessible to the child in the home, they would have been confiscated, he said. Wow. So they red flag a minor and then come to the home and confiscate all firearms from all of the people in the home that were never red flagged, even though the red flag or the extreme risk protection order clearly lacks necessary due process as provided in the Bill of Rights. Wow. They would have been confiscated if they had found them. Another case out of Alger County in the Upper Peninsula involving an 8-year-old indicates the child made several threats to kill individuals and attacked law enforcement and school staff prior to the February 29, 2024 ERPO petition. Among the threats voiced by the 8-year-old, this is an 8-year-old, just keep all this in mind, according to state police, I'm actually redacting the quote because of YouTube's algorithms and its terms of service. The child also had kicked, punched, and tried to bite a school resource officer and school staff, according to police records. Officials also said they believe they heard the boy say he wanted to do something to himself or live in the woods by himself, according to state police records. The mother told police her guns were, quote, locked up. State police records indicate, but law enforcement did seize firearms they believed were subject to the order. You hear that? They did seize firearms they believed were subject to the order, said Alger County Sheriff Captain Matt Waldron. The order was set to expire Saturday, and the department, as of Wednesday, did not plan to request an extension, he said. We have not had any other instances brought to our attention that would warrant an extension, Waldron said, now used by campus police. State police data indicates extreme risk protection orders were used by both of Michigan's largest universities in the first year after the law went into effect. In July, Michigan State University police petitioned for an extreme risk protection order against a Georgia resident visiting campus for a summer camp whose staff believed to have mental health issues and to be in possession of firearms, according to Ingham County court records. Respondent indicated he may use the weapons against someone else, and there have been past suicide attempts, the petition said. The individual was advised the possession of weapons on campus violated a campus ordinance, but the individual was not cited or arrested. A decision within the discretion of the police, the court filing said. Within a couple weeks after the order was issued, the individual hired a lawyer and the order was terminated. It was September 9th. And by the way, if you're flagged, you have to hire your own lawyer to appeal the process after it happened. You don't get a free court-appointed attorney if you cannot afford one, because again, you don't get the protections of a criminal case here. These are civil forfeitures. These are the civil cases. Wow. The individual hired a lawyer and the order was terminated September 9th based on a mental health examination determining the individual to be low risk, according to the court file. So after he was determined low risk, still had to go through the process, though. Still had to go through the process to prove their innocence. Nadia Vizoita, a spokeswoman for MSU police, said the university was limited in what it could say about the incident since it involved mental health concerns. But the university confirmed the individual involved was not affiliated with MSU, but was living on campus for a summer program. University of Michigan police in September petitioned an extremist protection order against an individual who was a patient in the U of M hospital system in Ann Arbor and who was alleged to have had, quote, 3 firearms and a machete in his car, according to state police records. The individual was accused of having threatened his girlfriend by saying he was going to do stuff bad to her with his guns, and she deserves what she'll get. I'm paraphrasing some of this because it's kind of crude. According to Michigan State Police records, respondent is currently on an involuntary psychiatric hold after threats of self-harm and threats of homicide, state police records said. University of Michigan declined to offer further details on the incident, citing patient privacy laws. U of M Police Lieutenant Kevin Crowley noted that while there are ordinances that restrict weapons on campus, an extremist protection order allows police to address the threats and individuals present on or off campus. Quote, it prevents them from possessing or accessing firearms anywhere, not just on campus, Crowley said. ERPOs provide a broader preventative measure beyond the limits of campus-specific regulations. Well, look, make sure you guys stay tuned to the video I'm going to be posting very soon with Michigan Representative Jim DeSena. He's the representative that has introduced bills to repeal these red flag laws because he talks about the fact that law enforcement has always had the tools they needed to remove a dangerous person from an imminent situation, and that these ERPOs, or red flag laws, don't actually remove the person at all. They just take the guns. But we're now finding that when they're red flagging people as young as 6 years old, they're also coming for the guns of everybody who lives in the whole house who hasn't even had any allegations against them. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments, and make sure you have your notifications turned on because the video with Representative DeSena will be posted on this channel very soon. Alright, thanks for watching, and have a good one.